The FA are awaiting the match report from referee Chris Kavanagh before issuing a statement on Fulham bad boy Alexander Mitrovic. The Serbia international, 28, laid hands on the Premier League official during the West Londoners' 3-1 defeat against Manchester United, ending their FA Cup run at the quarter-final stage. And there have already been strong calls for a hefty ban for the striker, with ex-ref Mark Halsey urging a 10-game suspension as a deterrent to prevent similar instances from occurring. If previous occasions can be used as a barometer, Mitrovic might even have played his last game of the season. Paulo Di Canio was slapped with an 11-match ban for pushing over Paul Alcock, though cases aren't always acted upon, as Daily Star Sport examine. Second Man UTD Qatar bid incoming as Sheikh Jassim confident Glazers will sell Paulo Di Canio, receiving a red card following an altercation with Arsenal defender Martin Keown. Paulo Di Canio was slapped with an 11-match ban, and a £10,000 fine, for pushing over referee Alcock in September 1998. The forceful shove sent an off-balance Alcock sprawling backwards in an almost cartoon fashion, eventually hitting the turf with a bump. The incident is now recognized as one of the most eccentric in Premier League history, but at the time the Sheffield Wednesday striker was hardly apologetic. "I gave him a shove, but it was hardly done with much force," said Di Canio after being charged by the FA. He took 3 or 4 sideways steps before falling over in rather a strange way, like someone diving to win a penalty. Di Canio was ironically ruled out of action until Boxing Day. Bruno Fernandes somehow managed to avoid an FA ban despite appearing to push linesman Adam Nunn during Manchester United's 7-0 drubbing by Liverpool earlier this month. Apart from stropping around and throwing his arms up in the air at every misplayed pass, the Portuguese playmaker, 28, pushed Nunn in a desperate attempt to restart the game. Match official Andy Madley saw the incident in real time but opted against including it in his match report. The lack of action was deemed totally unacceptable by Ref Support UK Chief Executive Martin Cassidy. Fernandes behaved like an entitled child. The FA has done an awful lot of great work since the beginning of the year in terms of protecting match officials, such as the bodycam pilot, which is a wonderful progressive move. But they can damage that by not addressing this with a strong ban. We believe it should be 5 games for this. Cristiano Ronaldo. Prior to tarnishing his reputation and upping sticks to the Saudi Pro League, Cristiano Ronaldo was handed a 5-match ban for pushing a referee whilst on the books at Real Madrid. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner was sent for an early bath after picking up a second booking in the Spanish Super Cup first leg against Barcelona, falling to the floor on the back of the most minuscule coming together with Samuel Umtiti. Having already picked up a first yellow card for ripping off his shirt, referee Ricardo de Burgos Bengotzia was quick to brandish a second just 2 minutes later. Ronaldo's 1-game suspension was later extended to 5 to account for the unnecessary shove. Rick Karsdorp losing out to current Serie A leaders Napoli earlier in the season, as Roma defender Rick Karsdorp was lucky to avoid any repercussions for pushing referee Massimiliano Irati after the full-time whistle. One of Jose Mourinho's backroom staff was issued a straight red card for his vociferous appeals at the end of the 1-0 defeat, but Karsdorp managed to walk away without so much as a booking despite planting 2 hands into the chest of Irati. Though, on reflection, it might have had something to do with the Italian official accidentally standing on Cardsoft's toes. David Prutton taking official rampages to a whole new level. David Prutton wanted to take on both referee Alan Wiley and his assistant when he was sent off for Southampton against Arsenal in 2005. The midfielder was already walking a tightrope after arriving late into a tackle on Matteo Flamini, but, keen to ensure the Saints claimed a valuable point, Prutton's fate was sealed when he enacted the same reckless challenge on Robert Pires. After consulting with his assistant, Wiley issued Prutton a second yellow and he was told to leave the field. Instead, the long-locked centre mid headed straight for the linesman. Wiley, who had stepped in to protect his colleague, was ousted aside by Prutton and only Harry Redknapp could halt his Philippic. Prutton was given a 10-match ban and a £6,000 fine after being charged with 2 counts of improper conduct by the FA. Alexander Mitrovic's red card against Manchester United might go down as one of the most needless of all time. The Fulham forward, 28, has often used his impulsive nature to devastating effect, claiming a championship record 43 goals in 44 appearances last season before sustaining his goal-scoring exploits in the Premier League. But his reckless attitude cost the West Londoners as they crashed out of the FA Cup on Sunday afternoon. Clearly aggrieved at Willian's instant dismissal for denying a certain Man Utd goal via his arm, Mitrovic marched over to Chris Kavanagh to let the referee know exactly what he thought of the decision. Yet the finger-pointing and obvious barge didn't do much to aid Fulham's efforts, or overturn Kavanagh's findings, as the Serb joined Willian in the changing room for the remaining 20 minutes. The duo were soon joined by Marco Silva, the Fulham boss, also given his marching orders for a vehement protest on the touchline. Mitrovic is expected to be handed a lengthy ban for the incident. The FA are awaiting Kavanagh's full match report before deciding on Mitrovic's punishment.